Lange, yeah.
Lange.
Lange. Dutch.
That's what
Echt Nederland. Yeah.
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 Lovely.
Lange means long in Dutch, so. Well, originally I was interested in kind of graphic design and things, and I was looking at other schools. But I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do for university, so I got accepted to a bunch of different schools, York and OCAD, and I decided to travel, take a year off defer, and to travel a little bit. So I worked for a few months, and then I spent 6 months living and backpacking through India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. And during that time, I was kind of traveling with a camera, and that's how I was sort of understanding my surroundings, and I got really into working with the medium of photography, and I decided that that was something I wanted to further pursue. And looking around at the schools, I thought Guelph had a really interesting program, not just for photography, but also gave me an opportunity to get involved in other courses as well, work with different media, but also the fact that I could take philosophy courses and anthropology courses and work across disciplines, to me was really important and really, really exciting. Yeah. I think the first year I wasn't sure what to expect. I mean, coming from high school and having traveled for a little bit. And the first semester, I really enjoyed it. And I was opened and exposed to so many new things with art history courses and, really sort of changed my perceptions of things. But then second semester was when I really kind of got into some art courses, and I took my Photo 1 course and got introduced to the darkroom and things, and that's when things really started to click, and I started to get really excited about these new things I could work with. I think the best part was the final year. Last year I was in the Specialized Studio program, which is it's a self-directed program, and you get a studio and you can, do whatever you want, and you're completely free, but then you still kind of have that support structure around you. So, you got your fellow students, so you can kind of bounce ideas and play around with, and the faculty was really great for coming through and mentoring, supporting, and it was kind of nice to be able to take these risks that you might not otherwise take, and to still have that sort of support network, and really get thinking about how to work independently as an artist beyond a sort of traditional classroom environment. Yeah, I think the faculty was really great. I mean, the thing that I really liked about Guelph and the faculty here was that they're all really active professional artists. So, they're learning they lead through example, and that's, a lot I learned from that, which was really nice. And kind of, the work ethics and, processes and how things really work, I think was really important. But also, they're kind of invested, I think, on a bit of a personal level. So they kind of, stay in touch and, are always suggesting you, but still challenging. There's no kind of easy ride in trying to push you and, create work to the best of your potential, which was really exciting. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you always have crits where you do a lot of work and you've done a lot of research and you have a lot of time invested into things, and sometimes it just doesn't work, and it's not working, and because you're so invested in this one idea, this one thing, you become so attached to it, and to have someone who's kind of like, tells you to go back to the drawing board, I think was really something. It's tough to hear, but you need to hear it, and it kind of, you end up revisiting it in a new way, and then that ends up becoming,
yes,
challenges forth good things. Yeah. You want to do something, you want to try to be original and critical, which is increasingly difficult. And I think working with photography in such an image-saturated world can be kind of difficult. And to make something that, to work with sort of alternative methodologies or philosophies or histories, I think sometimes can be a risk, because you're not always sure how people are going to respond to things that they might be less familiar with. And I guess so for me, I've sort of started to work with abstraction in photography, which is maybe a little bit different, and not even a photograph, but maybe more philosophies of photography, yes, but more photographic materials. And I think to kind of break that up wasn't maybe such a risk, but it was something different and something that I hadn't done before and wasn't 100% comfortable with. So I was doing a lot of work which was really digital, and I was sort of feeling a little bit removed from the sort of material aspects of photography. So I was working with a lot of expired photographic materials that aren't really being produced anymore. And I was working with this peel-apart Polaroid film, and it wasn't really something I was intent on exhibiting yet, but it was something to really keep attached with that materiality of the medium. And I kind of stepped away, and then I came back to it, and I noticed it's this traditional type of pull-apart Polaroid film. So on one side you have an image, and then on the other side you have a negative. But because this stuff was so old and past its use before date, it kind of had kept developing and then eventually exhausted into this abstract kind of form. And I thought there was something really interesting about that transmutation, and there's sort of, conceptually, I think it was something which sort of caught my eye and engaged with me, and a lot of the reading and research I was doing at the time, it really fit. And so then I took that into the digital darkroom, so it's very analog, and then I scanned it at high resolution and enlarged it because I wanted all these details of kind of growth and decay, which is what the piece is kind of about history as well. And also alchemy and this transmutation. And so I took that and then printed it out large scale and framed it, and that was the piece. Yeah. No, I think WELF's a really good program, and especially there's a lot of opportunities that you really have to kind of make the most of and be kind of aggressive in pursuing those opportunities. I also think being close to Toronto is a huge plus because, it's an hour bus ride away. So to be able to go there and be really connected to what's happening there creatively, I think is really important and really amazing. But just there's so many great opportunities. Last summer, I went to Europe for 2 months and sort of a funded exchange program, which is really great for meeting other artists, working kind of internationally, and also I ended up getting into things that are beyond the scope of the university, working with films and stuff like that, which is really exciting. And so I think trying to make the most of those opportunities, having the gallery downstairs and the specialized program, and when these things come up, really kind of being ready and working hard. A few all-nighters aren't gonna. They're healthy.